Hey everybody, welcome back to ThinkCutie. This has been an event prep week. I'm getting ready for the White Bear Craft Fair and also the Minnesota State Fair because some of our pieces are going to be in there in the International Bazaar. So busy week, and I'm going to take you along to see what I'm doing. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I am in my little studio area. It is just a corner of the living room, and that's because I like to watch my Netflix and my TV dramas while I'm creating, kind of have them in the background. Since, being kind of the artist and not being part of a larger group or traveling, it's just more convenient for me to have kind of my space at home. And yes, I can go into the art shop and be around a community of artists. And it's not like a co-owned like studio. Sometimes I kind of wish it was that way because it can get a little bit lonely, just sitting here creating my things at home. So I like to have a little bit of noise, but not too much. But today is Tuesday, and I actually have my meeting for the Polymer Clay Guilds group. And so we've been working on a project. And so I have one of my pieces. And if you're one of the project people, please don't look at this because you're not supposed to see it right now. So it's called the Telephone Project, which basically means that we pass on inspiration to each other and have a theme. But here you may have seen this. I created this dragon because I was inspired by the color and I wanted something fantastical, and I wanted to see what kind of dragon I could create, and used a new tool for the wings to get them to work, because that's been my biggest challenge, is not getting them too thick and heavy and having everything balanced. So this little guy is going into our project bin, so we have to name them. It has to be anonymous, and so if you're seeing part of the Polymer Clay Guild, pretend you haven't seen this, and or don't watch this part. So this little guy is going into our little project pile, so I have to name it and label it and put that away. And then I'm going to be doing kind of a show and tell, but it's not going to be my work. So here we go. I'm just going to be showing my group that there is a new type of polymer clay that is air dry that I found from a couple, and I don't know if I have their information. I should get it, but I talked to them, and they don't have that many like social media posts or anything because they're so busy. But the reason I'm pointing this out is because of how flexible it is. Sometimes with our polymer clay comes like the Fimo clay, it can get a little bit hard, and sometimes it can become fragile if it doesn't heat to the right temperature. It is supposed to be more flexible, but nothing like this. Look at this, the detail they painted. It starts out as white, and they just showed me that they painted, and it's totally flexible. This looks like a real flower, but it's actually made out of air dry polymer clay. So I'm going to be bringing this for kind of like the show and tell and showing everybody. And I did buy this from the couple, yes, and they did charge for their time, so it was a little bit spendy. You just clean these with like a little brush, and I just want to see if I can go grab their name quick, so bear with me. So thank you for hanging in there. Sorry if I stepped away, but it's Graceland's Clay Flowers. So husband and wife, the husband pretty much helps like sell at the booth that they had, and this was at Powderhorn Park, and they're all the way from Missouri. But I couldn't believe like the detail that they're able to get with this type of clay. So I may try to use it for some of the details, because I've been doing a lot of like plants and everything, but I want them to have a little bit of give. And as you see, I have some plants around me that I made tiny little planters, but like, oops, and I'm dropping them all over the place. I have these, but the clay didn't cure correctly, so it's teeny tiny little fingernail size, and the clay didn't cure correctly, so in my test batch, and these actually snap off, which is what I don't want going home with people. So I test everything to see that it's not going to break, and for some reason I don't think people understand the intricacy of the work that goes on here, because some people have to do kind of more of like a sensory and tactile touch. So I find people just kind of like oddly like touching all of my things. I am shocked by sometimes that people just pick things up in my little shelving units, and they have no idea if it's loose or not unless they've been to my booth, and sometimes they could be loose. And I even have a sign that says loose pieces fragile, and they get picked up. So I kind of wish sometimes that people would be a little bit more gentle, especially those with children. There's nothing wrong with children. I love seeing their faces light up. Sometimes they take my pieces home for their Barbie and doll sets, but again, these are showpieces. Hours went into them. They're handmade. So I'm like, it just needs a more gentle, loving care. And they're not supposed to be flung around like toys or anything. And I saw somebody pick up one of my little shelving units and go like this, and I'm like, please don't do that. You know, hours went into that. If a piece falls out and breaks, that's it. You know, the set is ruined and I can't sell that. So note to things, if you're going to art shows and other things, just, you know, I love the people who understand this, who've been to shows, who are artists themselves. They're very gentle. They look, they appreciate, they ask permission. I love you guys for being so considerate, but there's a few that just haven't been to as many. And even at a craft show, those things are handmade. So just please be a little bit more careful, because we all put a lot of time into our things. So I'm going to kind of take you along in my day, and just kind of show you, but I had to show you the projects that I've been working on besides like our events and things that we're posting. There's been a couple every month, so kind of a look in our YouTube, our YouTube at ThinkCutie, and you will find the different events that we are going to. At the end of the events, I try to post the show list of the events that are coming up, so that, you know, hopefully we can see you guys. I know I said that thing earlier, but really, I mean, the reactions and just being able to meet everybody who buys our things has been really great. And just actually meeting other artists, other creators, and other people who appreciate art is just the best feeling this year. So thank you so much, everybody. And I'm going to take you along for the rest of my day. All right, everybody, I just pulled it out of the garage and making my way out of our driveway here, and just getting ready to go to my Tuesday meeting. So the Polymer Clay Guild that I belong to does meet at least, you know, we try to meet like once a month. And then we do have like group projects. There's always like a time to shine where somebody does demonstrations, and then we share things that are going on, and we do different projects together. And this one that I'm working on for this week, or turning in this week, was actually part of our telephone project, which you can tell by the name. It's kind of like the game Telephone, where you pass on what you've created to the next person, and then by the end we all see what everybody has done together. So and now I'm just going down to our textile center in Minneapolis, which again, you can join the Textile Center of Minneapolis and become a member, and they have their own building. They do different displays, galleries. They have lots of different types of classes where you can learn from other artists how to create different textiles. They invite guests. I was at one where they had somebody come over actually from Japan that does beautiful kimono work. And I was at that class, and then we also have guest speakers that come into our group when we have our meetings, and just do different kinds of different kinds of techniques and everything. And I've learned a lot since the short time that I've been a member. So I've been a member for maybe just a little over a year now. So yeah, just really happy that I'm in another community of creators, and They're also members of the art shop, and that's kind of how I found out about it. So the art shop in Midtown Global Market, and just, we get invited to shows, we get invited to display our work at different galleries, and I've already participated in some of those things this year, and this one will also be on display in the gallery of the Textile Center. So just looking forward to a lot of things and trying to stay involved in the community, even with our really busy schedule that we created for our things, just so that our pieces are out there and that they're being shown. So, all right, on my way to the meeting. All right, as I'm editing and reviewing my video clips, I realized that there's some footage missing that I thought I had captured, but it seems to be missing from my recording. So I'm just going to, while I'm driving in the direction of the University of Minnesota, and I'm going to turn onto University Avenue, where the light rail does run between Minneapolis and St. Paul. I'm heading to the Textile Center, and that's right off of University Avenue. And at the Textile Center is a place for artists to who use fabrics or different materials, and or who want to learn how to use different types of medium, can come and they can take classes. There's a gallery space there. They have a store, and if you are a member, an annual member, you do get to participate in a lot of different events. You gain many connections and opportunities in there, and then you can take some of the classes for a reduced price and versus being a non-member. And so I'm just turning down here, and it's called the Textile Center again. And again, our group does rent space there, so if you want to teach or hold classes there, you would get in touch with the Textile Center and just see if there's an open schedule or if they have open rooms. They have several different things. They have a little library that if you're a member, you can check out books there. They have a system too. If you're not a member, they have a different system, and you would have to ask permission to be able to take some of their materials home. But there's a library of different kinds of art books and just different resources that you're able to connect through. And it's just really nice that I've gotten to know the Textile Center group, and along with the fellow members of the Polymer Clay Guild. And as you see, it's kind of there's lots of housing there because it is in a university area, and they need lots of housing for students, and that area has kind of been building up, and they've been making improvements to some of the older buildings. And I know that the Textile Center is trying to expand. And as I'm going through my footage too, there's going to be some bad angles and audio that's coming up, but please just bear with me. I just wanted to show you what I actually see when I go to the meetings, because part of our meetings, there's an order. We have a call to order to the meeting. We have a demonstration time. We have a time to shine, where everybody kind of shares what they do. We have a show and tell, and you go around the room and you can look at projects or things that people have been working on, and people can also share for the time to shine and show and tell, just different accomplishments or things that they've been doing. And there off to the right is the Textile Center, and I'm just trying to pull into the little parking lot, but they do parking off to the side, and then they have parking around the back. And I would actually recommend parking around the back and using the back door during the open hours, because this is kind of an off to side. It's a smaller area, and hopefully they'll be taking over the empty office spaces that are next to it. So here we go. Well, the meeting was supposed to start, but as you can see, there's some of us standing around different cars in the back of the building. The person who was supposed to let us in went home, and somebody else had to come and let us into the building because we are having our meeting again after hours. All right, once we were let into the building, we had a special night tonight because Linda from the Polymer Clay Guild is retiring officially. She brought in all of her supplies, her polymer clay, her display items, her tools, everything for our group to pick through. And I probably picked up $200 worth of free clay and tools and other display items that I normally would have to go out and buy myself. So just thank you, Linda, and for bringing things in for everybody to use and share and to donate. The rest of what we didn't pick up is actually going to be donated to Art to Change the World group, and just very, very generous. She did not charge anybody for anything that she had. And if there was anything that was maybe higher priced, she made an arrangement and we all got a deal. And this is all before our demonstration time and our meeting time begins, which is coming up next.
I've never made anything with it. So I've told Beth this. One of the reasons I like to volunteer for Demo and Do, although it makes me very anxious, is that it forces me to try something new. So this is my second version, and I can see lots of things wrong with it, but I also want to try it again. You know, I think it's worth trying again. So you can a minimum of 2 sets of colors you want, and if I use yellow again, I will use twice the amount of white that I did. But you want one color range,
a lighter color.
Yeah, from like the full strength yellow to a very pale yellow, and the full strength turquoise to a pale turquoise. And this could be more obvious too. This one is better, turquoise to pale turquoise, and this one is actually a mixture of ultramarine and turquoise, just out of the package. So you
and you combine those with white, or it's just
It's already been combined with white.
Yeah, some of them are, you can, it's whatever you want to use, basically.
No, but I mean these particular blends.
This one is just turquoise.
Just blue and turquoise.
Yeah.
But does it have white in it at all?
It does have white in it, you're right,
So-
that's what you were
So
asking, yeah.
there
it does
isn't a
have white in
layer
it.
of white, the white is already
Yeah,
incorporated.
Yeah, so you're going from, and what you're gonna do is, like I cut off 1-inch sections and stacked them so that I have a cane that goes from, with both colors, from lighter to darker, or maybe it's lighter to darker. Same here. It's got you're going to see both colors, the turquoise blue and the yellow, as you do that.
When you back them up, when you put the 2 different, like the yellow and the turquoise, do you start both the lighter ends on at the same end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you want maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches tall, going from lighter to darker. And you want maybe 1/4 of an inch thick slab off the cane. And roll it out a little bit thinner on some backing. And I'm doing this fast, so you want to do it better than this.
You can take your time, so you have something good to use later.
So I'm gonna roll it out on my pasta machine just to 0 first, and then I'll roll it out to a number 2 for the whole sandwich, the size of the cane and the backing.
0 is your thickest?
Yes, yeah.
So you're actually gonna put that through the pasta machine after you've gotten it rolled out?
Do I have
You're
to-
gonna put it through the pasta machine after rolling it out on the backing?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes. Sorry. Again, I'm losing.
And
You're
well,
using your roller as the pasta machine.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's
So-
an imaginary pasta machine.
Yes.
and,
Oh, okay, I thought you were
and
just-
had you rolled out the background to a certain number on the pasta machine already?
Number 2. once I get it down. But I start with 0, which is the thickest, and go down to number 2.
Okay.
And this is thicker than I want, but you don't want to watch me roll. So then I cut off triangles. And I tried to make big fat triangles like this, and it was miserable trying to curve them.
Oh, curve them.
Sure.
So then I made, I was trying to go to equilateral, but at least with this smaller amount of clay, I could curve it around in the spiral. So and I was doing this on top of my grid glass, so I don't know if I was actually any better or more accurate, but that's what I was doing. And something that I thought about, where did the sample, there. Something that I thought about after I did this was, why couldn't I cut with a cutter, you know, like that?
Oh, so cut the curve in it.
But then the lines would,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get as far as trying it, but I was sure intrigued by the idea. You know, is there some easier way of doing this? So then you want a centerpiece. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself again. You want to match centers, you know, and you may have to, I had to fiddle with them to get going from one blue to a yellow. And I also had to try to watch that I had, the yellow is not real obvious.
I get it,
Yes, yes,
because they're crescent shaped.
yes. Yeah. Or snake-like or whatever. So,
And you want them that thick.
yeah. With the blue, it was much more obvious. The blue to turquoise, it was much more obvious that there was I needed to match the dark blue in the center, or whatever I wanted, or light blue with another of the same color. Here it turned out that it was yellow, so I'm fine with that. And you don't need to try to do it all at once. And this is going to be off. That's what would do me in, because I don't have the patience. It actually goes pretty fast once you get this going. It's setting it all up, you know,
So
making
there-
canyons and.
I'm guessing there are 6 of those snaky crescents, is that right, or doesn't it
6 or
matter?
8.
6
what,
or 8.
What you can ever fit in, whatever you
Okay.
can fit in.
Okay.
Oh. Don't I have some of these made up? Yes, I do. Here. I'm just gonna do one of these and then let you figure out.
All right. Thank you for bearing with me on that demo there by one of our members. And I just had to show Marilyn, who I'm sitting next to, is one of the guild members. And here's one of the pieces that she just created. Those are little 3D printed shoes. So she's also experimenting with 3D, and it helped inspire her piece. And it's just amazing the detail that she can create. She's very, very talented, and she's also in the art shop, and she does larger pieces than I do. And then I'm just going around the room. There's a box of beads that we're all kind of working on, macrame polymer clay beads. There's people that are creating clay canes next to me and showing the different jewelry pieces that they've been working on and creating. And as you can see, it's just very different styles and techniques that you have access to being a member of the Polymer Clay Guild here, and it's something that I enjoy. Interesting to see what everybody's been working on together. All right, it took a couple minutes to get my recording back on, but it's a little bit dark in here because it is later in the evening. It's about 8:45. Our meeting went long, but as you see, we actually had a lot of activities and meeting minutes to go through, but it's all over now, so I'm going to be heading out, and hopefully next time. They didn't have the textile center open all the way, so maybe another time I'll be able to show you that and what's on their gallery walls and the place that we participate in different shows with. So all right, it's off to back home. All right, I'm just sharing as I drive home, and I'm passing right in front of the Mall of America. It's kind of my side of town, and I just thought I would show you kind of the front of the Mall of America. And so some of my fellow Polymer Clay Guild members have entered their pieces into the Minnesota State Fair. So if you're going to be walking through kind of the art buildings and the different like food buildings and I would say like the education building, and I think they might be in between like the 4-H Club and the education buildings. You'll see some of the Polymer Clay Guild members have submitted some of their pieces this year, and there's a few members that we know, they usually end up winning the blue ribbon of those groups. So when you go through and look at the different art pieces that have been submitted, go ahead and look for that. It's Polymer Clay Guild members, so PCGMN, and I'm gonna go see who's gonna win, because we're gonna be at the Minnesota State Fair on Sunday the 25th. We're gonna be working at the booth that we're in the International Bazaar for the art shop, and now the art shop is a separate group, but we're all connected. And so exciting there, and you can meet artists, and they're going to be with Midtown Global Market for that. So we hope to see you there. And as we're ending here, I just wanted to show you some pieces that I worked on last year. I'm hoping to create some of these new pieces again for this year. And there's one of the new designs that we've come up with. There's a glow-in-the-dark snail and a frog. So I just keep adding different elements to some of the new pieces that my husband has created with his 3D printer. And we're just looking forward to the end of summer and everything that's to come this fall. Again, we'll be at the International Bazaar at the Minnesota State Fair and in White Bear on Saturday. So I hope that we can see you at some of these events. And sorry if some of the clips are a little bit longer. Let me know what you like looking at or what you want to see in these videos. But hit that subscribe and like. And then here's a list again of our shows that we're going to be at all the way up through towards the end of the year. We may sneak in a few more. We'll see. I've already added a couple to our list. And hopefully we can keep coming up with some new creations for everybody. Thank you, everybody. Bye.